Hi Dennis, it's Colin. I just wanted to give you a quick update here. Yeah, with the Fortis was the first Bootstrap template I created. So I did the tutorials. I didn't want to go into as much detail as I did in some of them, like changing menu backgrounds and that. What I wanted those tutorials to be was basically a guideline as to where in the library files you would update things and whatnot. As far as getting and modifying the template colors and whatnot, somewhere else I think in the members area, we've posted a link to a suggestion. And I'll show you what we do here. If you want to modify it, get in there and modify a template, don't go through the tutorials. Those are generic. They're there to demonstrate how to update the components. If you want to start modifying colors and styles and things like that, let's open up a page and I will show you what I suggest you do. And this is what I do myself when I'm doing support, or even when I'm building new templates and trying to figure things out, right? Because it happens to be Denmark and Onyx are based off very similar styles, but depending on the template, I have to add new style sheets and change things around. And modifying the tutorials each time, it actually takes longer to do the tutorials than it does to build a template. So I've left the tutorials generic, but I've advised anybody who wants to do the more advanced updates to get Firefox and install Firebug. So just go to Google, type in Firebug. This is a developer's tool. Every developer that wants to modify a website uses Firebug because it's the greatest tool out there. Go to and you just download it, install it for Firefox. Okay. Now, let's say you want to change the menu background color, right? Well, what you do is you just put your cursor over what you want to change. For example, I'll just put it over this area right here. I'll inspect with Element, and what will happen is Firebug will bring up a new window, and oftentimes it's locked or anchored to the bottom here. I like to keep mine separate. Okay, and then what you can do is you can start to go through, right? You can use this to sort of start to go through, and you see when I hover over here, it sort of hovers over the whole thing. So the menu background, as you hover over elements in the page, it highlights them, right? And for this case, it's hovered over the UL ID of menu. And over here in the right side, here are the styles associated with the menu class. So basically what you do is you can just scrub down here and you're looking to see if there's anything to do with a background. Oh, wait a minute, right here. See how it says background? There's the menu background PNG right there. So here's the background style, right? And it's using a graphic. But it tells you home line 33. So all you really need to do is, okay, that's where the style is located. Site, styles, and it said pages and home. If you want to know how to get to that part, what you do is you just go, okay, so you just click on the style sheet right here. And you see, if you hover over the style sheet up top here, it actually tells you where it's located. So it's the Denmark site styles pages home.css folder. Okay, right. And the cool thing, and this is the reason why I really recommend using Firebug to modify things and whatnot, is you can actually change the properties in here temporarily as you are making your modifications, right? And then you can see what it looks like. For example, just for fun, right? See how this angle bar here, right? And when I hovered over this in Firebug right here, you see the two purple bits on each end? So there's purple on the left, purple on the right, and then there is a light blue. The light blue indicates you're hovering over the selected object. When you see purple, it means there is padding. When you see yellow, it means there's a margin. So then you can look for specific things. And as you start to play around with Firebug, you'll find that it gives you a lot more information than going through tutorials. And it's a lot faster than actually going through, digging through a tutorial, trying to find the information. Okay, so right here it says home.css. Okay, so menu, there's the background, there's the margin padding, right? So if you were to, for example, remove the padding on the left, see what happens? You can test things out. Oh, okay, if you want to increase it, right, to 1,000 or 100, you can play around with things in Firebug. So, anyways, that I just wanted to demonstrate to you. So where to get Firebug, how to use it, right, and then how to locate the styles in the site to go and change things. So if I opened it up, I went to site Site styles, pages, and then home.css. Right down here, because in our Firebug it says line 33. So let me go down to line 33. Okay, so there it is right there. There's the background style. It's actually loading in a PNG. So if I go to the graphics menu background folder, there's the graphics. There is the menu background right there. So I'm going to just double click on it to open it in Fireworks, which is my default graphic editor. You can at least take a look at that graphic, and you can actually see a little example of it up here in the top left corner of the folder list. It'll actually show you what the image looks like in a small thumb. But when I open it up here in Fireworks, I'm just going to scale this down here so I can get it into the browser window. Like so. 50% here just so you can see it. That's what it's at. So it's actually a background graphic. Now the reason we did that was because of the angle and the transparency. And in order to, when you're using, we could do a background that had an angle, like so, using CSS and using transparency, but it's not going to work well for every browser out there and mobile devices. So we went with an actual graphic. So if you want to have a different background for your menu, you actually just need to modify this background graphic. Now, if you don't know how to do that, we provide the source files, or you just contact us. No charge. We do it no charge. Right? You just tell us what color you want, and we'll create a new one for you and send it on over. Okay? I'm just going to minimize that down. So that sort of highlights the how to select certain areas in the site and find things out. Now, if you're not sure how to do something and you want to get in, I've never really, in Fortis, I know I went in and I talked about modifying certain aspects of the site, and I kind of wish I hadn't done that because it sort of led to people to believe that there was, going to be some specific information for each template when there isn't, because we recommend using Firebug. Because there are so many potential questions out there, it's a lot easier to put generic tutorials and then use Firebug. And if you're not sure, that's what the ticket system is for. The ticket system just isn't, I broke something. It's, hey, how do I change the color of this? How do I do that? It's not in the tutorials. So that's what that's there for. That's what I'm here for. Okay. You had another question. Let me just go and take a look at your ticket. However, you did mention how to change the Be Creative, which is the full screen slider. And any component that has text or pictures, yes, there are specific tutorials for each template, and this one has one as well. This is the full screen slider, so I'm going to log into your account here. I'm going to pretend to be you. So I'm just going to go to the instructions tab right here. I'm just going to hit the instructions button. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the instructions tab. Now what you're looking for is the full screen slider, and I'll show you where the rest of the tutorials are for the specific components on the home page of your site. Right? So, full screen slider right here. That's the one. So hit the instructions button, and then you can go to this is the page right here. So basically it's going to say go to the library, sliders, full screen slider, and your full screen slider page. Right? And you can watch the video or just go through the text if you want to do that, but that's where the instructions are located for the Be Creative text that you see within this full screen slider here. Next on the page is basically this is just a regular text section, the welcome to our website. Then we have the navigation carousel. This is the navigation carousel section. It's actually an info box carousel, and what we're going to do is let's just go back to our page here. And let's look for the info box carousel right there. Info box carousel instructions. Click on that and it'll pop up right here. And okay, there we go. Then you can go through the information instructions right here. So in a nutshell, right, your library, your sliders, your full screen slider. This will be the information you want to know about Be Creative. Open it up, switch over to Design View. Now here's all the text right here, right? There's the Be Creative text right there. You just select it and change it, or you can do it in the code view if you prefer, right? I believe I talked about doing this in the code window in the tutorials, but you can do either. And when it comes to changing the images here's the image right here. Right, so that's the background picture that you would see. You do need to do this in the code view, but you can actually do some of this in the design window as well. Just select the information between the quotes, or and text below it, and go ahead and change it. The tutorials will go through that. Right. And I just want to run through the rest of the stuff on the page here. All right, so the info box carousel, that would be the components info box carousel. And once again, open that up, and basically what you see, there's your picture, there's your title, there's your description, picture, title, description, and the tutorials will show you again how to go through that in more detail. I'm going to scroll on down. This is just a regular text section right here, a regular section right here. Now we have this parallax section right here. So if I go back to our tutorial, we're looking for the parallax section, which is probably going to come down here, right here, parallax section, instructions. In a nutshell, we're already in our components folder. We're going to close up the info box carousel. There's the parallax section folder right there, and there's the page for it. And you can see, as soon as you open it up, there's the 3 images, and there's the text right here. So basically the way we set these library files up is you can just change the picture by double-clicking on it and then browsing for a new one. Right? When you're done, just make sure that the specified size is unchecked after you place the picture. Then you can change the text right down. Oops. Change the text right down here, and text there, and whatnot. And keep the page open. You know, my advice is whenever you're making an update, keep the library page open. Preview the live, your index page in your web browser. Make sure it looks the way you want it to look. Then when you're satisfied, then close the page down, because it's a lot easier to do the Control-Z to undo what you did and start over than it is to try and fix a problem. Just my tip. And we're going to scroll on down, and we have this Bootstrap quotes. Once again, Bootstrap quotes probably up here somewhere. I think everything's listed alphabetically, are they? Nope, it's not. Okay, so it's probably listed in the order it was added. Bootstrap carousel, right there. But in a nutshell, with the Bootstrap carousel, Bootstrap quotes, just open it up, quote 1, 2, 3, and 4. Really, that's all there is to it, because it's just a text. Right, there's just text. The background picture, I'll tell you about in a second there. And then we have the image navigation right here. This is another component, and it's located in the full screen portfolio links. So in your tutorials, you're going to be looking for full screen portfolio navigation right here. This guy right here, there's the instructions right there. Click and boom, that'll show you how to update it. Now if you want to know how to change the pictures in the background, right, what we're going to do here is I'm just going to do inspect element, and I'm going to look for the section right here. Wherever you see a section class and it starts with a section number, like section 3, parallax 4, right? Over here it's going to tell us what's going on with the background pictures and that sort of thing, right? So, in a nutshell, your theme.css, that's where the background images are loaded in, as you can see right here. There's the look of the picture, right? But what happens because of the, we're using a parallaxing effect as well in Firebug, it scratches out, or it has a sort of background position that it scratches out the actual background image, but it's still being used because you can see it on the page. So basically, if you go to your theme.css or you open up your index page, this is what I suggested, anybody who wanted to change the background picture, you go down to the section where you want the picture to be replaced. So I'm just going to scroll on down here. We're going to find that Bootstrap quotes section, which is right here, and you won't see a background image actually displayed in design view because it's a parallaxing image, right? Which means there's been some script applied to it to make it go up and down. So let's switch over to, just double click on a piece of text in here, switch over to code view, and it tells you right up here, Bootstrap quote section, it's all commented. It tells you the section class and the parallax type. That just defines the speed, which I haven't any tutorials on. It's just a class I've created too, and I've given it a number so it doesn't conflict with any other parallaxing, right? And all it does is make the picture move up and down at a different rate than the rest of the page. But if you